I made a call to Adam Silver. Shout out to Adam here at Silver Properties, who had been hitting me up for a couple of years about coming to do real estate. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready to do some real estate. Like, fuck all this music shit. Let me get my money right. And if I do anything in music, it's going to be on my terms.
Welcome to LI on the Rise. This is all about people who are chasing their dreams. Today's guest, this is more like a little update video. This guy's been kind of low key lately, but I'm glad he's making the time to join us. Please introduce yourself, man.
Oh, still on the rise. You know what it is. Corporate Mike in the building.
How we doing?
Oh man, great. It's been a busy day. Lots of real estate stuff happening. Lots of running around all weekend, but life is
For
good.
those that might not know, you did hop on the show back in 2019. What would the 2022 Mike tell the 2019 Mike?
Oh my God, you're about to have so many jobs. That's what I would tell him. I don't know, man. I think that's a good question because it wasn't like that long ago, but so much has transpired. I mean, always I would tell any younger version of myself to focus on their health because, like, I don't know, I haven't always been the healthiest guy, but yeah, I don't know, man. Just keep pushing. It gets better. You're getting where you want to go. I think um that's probably the best thing. I don't remember what month we did it, but 2019 in like late October on Halloween, I got fired from Hot. So in 2019. So I don't remember if it was before or after that, but I definitely would have had that same advice is like you're getting where you want to go either way.
Wow, they did you dirty on Halloween like that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel a lot of different ways. I feel like, I didn't play the politics the way that they wanted the politics played, but I feel like I'm in such a better place. And like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just like one of those things that I'm just like, I feel good and I'm fortunate that I feel good and I don't really care about the opinions that might come with it. But I'm also not like naive to them. I know a lot of people probably look at my situation as like either great or terrible.
Well, I appreciate you telling people about it and just kind of owning it, you know what I mean? I remember you went on Instagram Live and like you dished out the whole story and everything, which like and you were giving all the details too. You just put it all out there. And I think that takes a lot of balls, but just like putting your truth out there and like cuz everyone's going to be curious, you
Yeah, no,
know?
of course. And I think a lot of that was me like transforming as an individual because I'd say like the older, like the hip hop Mike version of me was a little bit more consumed in like keeping good rapport and relationships with certain people. I think I was just still subscribed to the game. I think after a while, like I just realized like this game is kind of bullshit and there's no winners. And the people who are winning are the people that are like almost making new games, and I think that's kind of where I got with that video is like because right after I got let go, I started working as station head. Things went pretty well. Then at some point while I was still doing station head stuff, like Hot 97 reached back out. It was like maybe a year had went by. It was like right around the time of the pandemic, I guess, or like a little bit after that they had reached out and they were like, "Hey, we want to bring you back." And I was like, "All right, well, like, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like?" And they're like, "Well, we just got bought by a new company, and I've been telling the guys about you over there, and we want to figure something out. So just sit tight, and we're gonna figure this out." So I was like, "Wow, great!" Like at first, I'm super excited. I felt like it was an opportunity to like redeem myself in a lot of ways as far as like that entertainment side of stuff went. And for a second I was like, oh, maybe they actually see the potential. Maybe they see that a lot of the work that I had done the previous year in 2019 like had started getting recognized in 2020 because a lot of the interviews like had been out, like 24K Golden, he had went viral in like 2020. Just a lot of artists that I sat with in 2019, like from DaBaby to 24K to like all these kids, they really started to pop in 2020. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe they see like, what I was doing and believe in it. But then like a couple months went by, I followed up. It was like, well, sit tight. Another couple months went by. It was like, well, sit tight. Then I had like a conversation with somebody over there at Digital. It was like, we really want to bring you back. We're just trying to figure out like what role that would be, like maybe something here in Digital. And like as more and more time went on, I just kind of felt like, all right, like is this anything about like have anything to do with like what I was doing in the content, or is this just like some bullshit that I'm being told? Because it honestly, it's like I didn't know why they would say any bullshit. I don't know if it's like to keep me from looking for another job, or like because like they sincerely did have an idea, or like what, or if it was just like shout out to PO, like PO at Hot 97 is the program director. This is who like mainly I was speaking to. I think he really wanted to bring me back because he saw the potential and he like believed in me, you know, the whole way. But I don't think that that was like a priority for everybody. And I think although the PO kind of wanted that, I'm sure there's a lot of people that didn't want that. And after a while, bro, I just started feeling like, all right, like this is like having an ex-girlfriend that's like, let's give this another shot, but then like none of their actions meet the, you know, and shout out to Pio, because I don't think it was on him, but it got to the point for me where I was like, I need to make a decision in this relationship. And I went to Summer Jam that year. And to be completely honest, bro, like that was the year that Summer Jam, that there was like a hurricane. I went out there in the hurricane, like after having been fired from there like a year, 2 years before. And I was just like, this is fucking the same shit. Like it's a different company, but it's the same shit. It's like we're literally forcing people out in a hurricane to come to this fucking Summer Jam concert. It's like we're not postponing it because it's a money thing. It's all the same shit. So after Summer Jam, I just decided I was like, I'm gonna give it 1 month. If I don't hear anything, I'm breaking up with them. Like I'm just done. Like I'm severing this tie. And a month went by. I followed up one more time. I didn't really get response. I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done sitting tight. This is how I feel about everything. And you know, because in that 2 years, there was so much shit that I would hear, and like the same way I say now, I don't really give a lot. Like my energy, it's like, bro, I heard people saying like I got fired because I said like the N word or something racist, which like I would never do, and it's like so out of character. You know, people talking about like I cursed out a homeless guy or like this whole thing, and it's like it honestly it's funny that I've said this to a few people since. I was like, if the homeless guy that I made the video of would have turned around and said Byron or fucking any of this shit that Nems had in his video, it's like, would y'all still have let me go then? Or is it more? And after I made that video, a couple months later, Nems makes this video on Coney Island, literally yelling at this homeless dude. And this dude's like, Joe Byron. And it goes viral. And like the radio station's supporting it, reposting and sharing. And I'm just like, this is politics. And like, I'm glad that I spoke up on all of it, because I felt like it wasn't about any one thing that I did. It was about the fact that I had done pretty well doing what I just naturally do, and it wasn't getting supported. And it just became very clear to me, you know, where I stood with that whole thing and how I was going to move forward. And I made a call to Adam Silver. Shout out to Adam here at Silver Properties, who had been hitting me up for a couple of years about coming to do real estate. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready to do some real estate. Like, fuck all this music shit. Let me get my money right. And if I do anything in music, it's going to be on my terms.
I super appreciate you sharing that story, because I'm sure like a lot of people are, you know, we don't, it's not out there, you know, so I'm glad you're like letting everybody know, you know what I mean? Because I feel like you're one of those people that's like, yo, like what happened? I feel like there's more to the story. What is he doing now? So appreciate you giving that update.
If they didn't hit me up to come back, I wouldn't have even talked about it. To tell you the truth, like I would have just left it alone and literally done what so many people told me to do. Like keep good relationships, you know, don't bring up any stuff that upset you, because you never know when there's going to be an opportunity in the future. It was the fact that like they were kind of dangling an opportunity that make me that feel like I don't ever want any opportunity that comes with that place, as long as the main pieces are there, you know. And I don't mean there like as far as like the main pieces like of people getting fired, or I mean as long as like the decision makers are making decisions with this mentality, I'm not trying to get up in that until like people are ready to like innovate and make some new decisions.
We don't miss being hip hop Mike.
Nah, not really. I mean, I miss having like access to anybody I wanted to talk to and like the conversations, because I can't say every artist or like person of influence that I want to talk to now would like return a call, because I don't have that, at Hot 97 or whatever. But I'm so much happier just being like who I am. And honestly, the hip hop mic into corporate mic was like something that Funk Flex pushed, because it was like after I put out that video, kind of just talking about everything, I'm sure without even watching the video, he jumped in my comments and was like, "You're privileged, you're not hip hop," and rah, rah, rah. And I said, "You're 100% right. If being hip hop means all that bullshit, I'm cool with being corporate. I'll be corporate Mike." And I just like, I embrace it, because honestly, it's like the same criticisms I have of them, I'd have for myself. I've been offered jobs in radio. At this point, I feel like, I'm 32 years old. I don't really want to be the guy that's like running around chasing, young kids to come do interviews about things I'm not interested in. Like, I never wanted to be that guy when I had the position at Hot, and I don't want to be that guy now. So it's just like I needed to grow up in general. It wasn't so much about not loving everything that hip hop Mike like was, but it's like there's a time and a place. And the same way that I'm sure Funk Master Flex felt when he became Funk Flex or whatever, like it was the same thing for me. It was just like a bigger, it was a bigger shift.
How are you still involved in the music world? Because I know you managed Live Like Davis, and you've met so many celebrities, and Adam 22, Biscuit, the list goes on and on. So, are you still involved in the music world? Do you still have relationships and stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, I still have a lot of friends. Like, I talk to a ton of people, and like everybody kind of fills me in on like what they're working on, and like people will hit me to like connect with other people, and like I don't think I'm ever gonna be like out of that world, because I'm like still a big fan of music, and like a lot of the people that I met in that world, they fuck with me because I fucked with them before they were like really huge, like a lot of them. So if I go somewhere, like travel to a city, like a lot of times I can check in with like an artist or people on radio, and they're like super friendly and cool. I'm trying to incorporate more of like this business side, like into music stuff. Like I really want to take some money and like invest in opening up like a podcast studio, maybe doing like, just interviews with all different types of people, from like musicians to like, the people in the business side of it, to people that have nothing to do with music, but are also like athletes or creative or whatever. So I wouldn't say I'm like fully out of like entertainment stuff, just because it's like it's a passion, but it went from being like the thing I did all day to like the thing that I did at the end of the day. And it's just like it's a better balance for me, because I don't feel as much pressure to like necessarily like deliver by any means to make money. It's like I just only deal with things that I want to deal with. It's protecting that peace of mind. It's like, there were people in music that I would talk to have a good rapport with, that I didn't really like feel a vibe with. It was just like to just like force relation. Like I don't like any of that shit. Like if I don't care if you're the biggest artist in the world, like if I don't like your music and I'm not like a fan, like I don't really care to take a picture. Or like me and my girl went to Nobu the other day. I saw like Tom Hanks there. I didn't say anything to her. I was just like, oh, like Tom Hanks, like, and not because it's regular, but it's just like I'm not a fan, And then we left, and she's like, "Oh, I saw some celebrity in there." I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw Tom Hanks." She's like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm like not a fan, like really. But if I saw like Leonardo DiCaprio, I'd be like, oh, it's lit. Like I'm a big fan of Fuck You, Catch Me If You Can, and like, so I think not having to be like, oh my God, it's Tom Hanks, and I'm trying to be in Hollywood. I need to talk to him, and like not even thinking about that is just like the best.
I
I don't have
heard.
to go to any parties, any clubs. I don't have to pop out to any event. Like it's just do what you want when you want.
Yeah, I've heard that like the music industry is like the business of like relationships. So it's like there's so many forced relationships to climb up, and it's like I'm on that same wave. Like, yo, fuck that. Like,
Well, you
fuck
know what
that.
it is? Relationships are very important. The thing that I didn't learn until after the fact was it's like it's not how many you have, it's like how quality the few that you have are. because if you have a few really good quality relationships, you could be unstoppable. You could have a million relationships and everybody could know you. You don't have any real like vibe with all these people. You're just like a name that they know. You know, it's like it's kind of irrelevant. So it's not about like going out and making more relationships. It's about like really taking the time to nurture the relationships that you have that are genuine, and then y'all grow together.
Yeah, that is a fucking gem right there. It really
Real
is, because
shit.
it's like people misinterpret it, where it's like, networking, you got to network, and it's like, yeah, but like you said, I spread myself thin,
Yeah,
you
and it's
know?
like you end up networking with people just to network. You're not necessarily like talking to people because it's I'd go to an event for an artist performing that like I wasn't a fan of, to meet with like some label dude that like could like meet with some other artist, like, and then you end up just standing there like a dick, like like, and you're running around and driving yourself crazy. And it's like now in retrospect, like I think of people at Hot that like I started with that like either also got let go or still there and like in the position I was in. And I'm like, if I would have focused on like getting us together sooner and like doing what I'm doing now, just outside without any regard for that brand or any brand, like who knows? It's like, look at Adam. I don't think Adam was tied to like a big brand. He got no jumper. Like, I don't think Cole Bennett was like tied to any big brand. He started Lyrical. Like, you really don't need these big brands. And more times than not, the people that are running them are putting on their friends that they came up with. And it's not like, the same way Drake says no new friends. Funk Flex doesn't make new friends. He's not gonna like meet a kid and be like, hey, I see potential in you. Let me like really spend time nurturing this. It's like maybe you could be around a guy like that if you like add to his shit. But the second you start adding to your own shit, it's just like they're not gonna help you the way you help them. And now are you gonna like bring up another kid to do to them what they did to you? It's like start your own shit from scratch, have a fresh mindset with it, and have good relationships with people that are going to grind it out in the gutter with you the same way that they're going to party with you, when you have access to the events.
And that's one of the thing where it's like people don't want to put in that work. They want to
Yeah,
get that push, and then hopefully that does the work for them.
it doesn't. It's like even you could end up on the radio being successful at everything in everybody's eyes, but you're gonna feel like shit if you're around people that you don't feel supported by, that you don't feel like have your best interest. Like again, I bring up Drake. I think he's the best example. It's like, look how few people he fucks with. I mean, he just had a bar in a song though that was like, I'm not going to the Met because they only give me a +1, and it's like, I gotta ride with the pros. Like, it's like you have a few people that really believe in you, that have your back, vice versa. And it's like you don't need a fucking Met Gala because it's like you're gonna make a statement whether you go or not. Like it's I feel like anybody that's really successful, like in their own right, they're not about being mixy. They're about just like the shit that's in front of them.
It's funny you mentioned that. Like, do you watch BET Awards last night?
I caught up with like some clips. I didn't watch it, but
So my girl goes, "Is Drake gonna be there?" I'm like, no, Drake's not gonna be there. And she's like, "Why isn't Drake gonna be there?" I'm like, "You don't have to be there. There's a bunch of new
yeah.
people. Drake don't got to show up to that. He's on top already. Why the fuck does he have to be like? You know what I mean? It's like,
You know what it is too, is like I feel like if it was like something that was well respected, that was politic free, that was really about the culture, like he probably would pull up. He pulls up in basketball games. Like I don't see why he wouldn't want to pull up. It's just like it's not that. It's like going to a basketball game that's fixed for a certain team to win. That is more about how the uniforms look. It's like at a certain point, you're like, you lost me, bro. Like I think it's happening with the Grammys. It's happening with a lot of award shows.
I see you wrote on Twitter, "You are a true success when you help others be successful."
Yeah, I mean it's kind of generic, but I mean for me personally, I shouldn't. I don't say that's across the board. Success is defined in a million different ways, but for me, it's like I don't feel as good as I do like when I'm able to help somebody. Like even in radio, like I didn't feel as good like interviewing Adam as I did like playing K Soul on air and like watching him react in his car. Like it's really subjective, but for me, it's like you're really only as good as the people you look out for and like the good energy you bring to the world. You know, we have an office of like 30 successful real estate brokers here because the guy that's at the top is like the nicest, most sincere, like genuine dude, you know? So it's like everybody feels successful because of like that. Like I want to be on that time, but to each his own. I mean, I'm sure Funk Flex feels mad successful, and I'm gonna keep dragging Flex all day. I know I sound like a hater, but I'm gonna keep dragging him because it's for me. It's like that was my hero, and that's the biggest example of like wasted potential. So, I mean, but he feels successful, I'm sure. So by all means, it's you do you, bro. Anybody that applies to anybody in any field.
You think he's gonna be watching this?
I don't know. I don't care. Like respectfully, probably not. To be honest, it's like probably not. And it's like it's not even because it's not great content. You could learn so much from it. It's like, listen, everybody is welcome to do what they want to do. We'll just see where the cards fall, bro. Because at the end of the day, is like my priority is really like doing shit that's genuine to me, being good to people, and like leaving behind a legacy that's like respectable.
Let me ask you this real quick, because the PO from Hot was kind of the guy trying to get you back into Hot, but like Rosenberg basically put you on, like you built that relationship to get in there. So like Rosenberg's not reaching out, like, yo, like I heard they want
Oh
you
yeah,
back.
nah. I talk to Rosenberg all the time, and like shout out to him, like and Natalie, like they just got engaged. Like we keep up like regularly. Like Rosenberg's like a friend at the end of the day, like first and foremost. When it comes to Hot, it's a company, and it's like any other company. And PO is the PD. He's the program director. He's like theoretically the boss there, but you have some personalities that are also bosses in their own right, and it's just like there's a little bit of a conflict as far as like the overall goal of the station. It's a lot of like people fighting for the same fish. It's not like a bunch of fish swimming together to like go find the fucking food. It's like, so I think Rosenberg is Rosenberg. He's not, the program director. He's not the manager. He's the morning show host. He's the morning show host on Ebro in the morning, with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg. And that's his focus, and I'm not mad at him for it. I think he kills it with that. He kills it with ESPN and WWE. And it's like he could go all day to management and everybody else and try and explain like their decision making, but they're making decisions for him just like they did for me, just like they do for most people. And there's very few people in there that have control of their own fate, and the people that do, those are, I guess, people that don't have the same mentality that other people do. So, but yeah, Rosenberg reached out. A lot of people do. Like Drewski hits me, Juanito's hit me, Stacks. There's a ton of people there that I still talk to. Nessa, Katrina, like there's hella people that still show me hella love. I think it's just like, people have a job, and at the end of the day, I'm I'll put it like this, because I don't like speaking so much on it because I just have a lot of love for like the friendships, not necessarily like these aren't relationships, these like friends. But like at the end of the day, it's like I don't really think I care as much about a career in broadcasting. I think I got into it because I grew up selling mixtapes and I love music and I wanted to put kids on and I wanted to fucking put on for the city and find artists and like support shit and like put New York back where I think it should be. Like, I think a lot of people have that same intention, but they also have bills, and they also have things that make sense for them, and everybody has different beliefs. And for me, it's like, it's like Dave Chappelle said, like when keeping it real goes wrong, it's like I'm willing to risk keeping it real and it going wrong. And thank God I don't think it has went wrong yet. I'm sure some people do, but I'll keep it real all day, every day, and I'm willing to bet that I end up in like a very good place nonetheless, if not better place. So I'll tell you this much: I made more money than probably, I'd say I made more money than Funk Flex this year off of, that maybe not with his club money, but like his radio money. I did just as well. And I worked way less hours and I sucked way less dick. In a real respectful way, you kissed ass. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, if you're gonna DJ for free for artists to get on bills, and if you're gonna tell labels you don't have to pay me, I'll pop out to this venue, or if you're gonna use artists and their following to get booked in clubs, you're kissing ass. I've been there. I did that. I worked at Hot. I know what it's like to suck dick and kiss ass. Not literally, but like, that's what you're doing. And it's like, I'm just happy I'm not doing it. And I made the same bread. At Hot, I used to make $500 every 2 weeks. So I think I did pretty good.
I think you did great too, man. And before I even met you, I'm networking with all the local rappers, and like your name kept coming up, and he's a good Hip Hop Mike's a good dude. Show me genuine love. Like, you could see people appreciate it, because like that's a big thing for them, man. Like, you setting that up for them, that's a big thing for them. You know what I mean?
I mean, I appreciate it. Like, I tried to do for people what I wish would have been done for me. But even with it not being done, it's like you can still make it. And that's like my whole point, is like, I'm nobody special. It's just like, just be yourself, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I say that to everybody. And you know what? Not for nothing, with me making the money I'm making now, I have so much freedom to do all that same shit. If I ever wanted to go back to fucking spending money to book artists in clubs or fucking putting on show, I could do whatever the fuck I want. So yeah. It's like, if I was in a position to do whatever the fuck I want and still at a radio station, the last thing I'd be doing is the shit that the kid that doesn't have any money is doing. Like, but it's easy. And, when it's easy, it's comfortable. And when it's comfortable, you don't have to challenge yourself. And a lot of people prioritize comfort over legacy and growth. I don't.
Do you have any thoughts on the Rosenberg Academics beef?
I don't even know about it. My thoughts, I was beefing with Academics first, Rosenberg. Nah, he was probably beefing with Academics first, but I don't know. Fuck Academics. My only thoughts are like, if I could go back, I wouldn't have given him any energy, and I don't think Rosenberg should either. I think Academics is just like, it's like, Academics is a school shooter. Maybe you want to bleep that, like, so YouTube don't flag you, but it's literally like, it happened, like something happens that it's just like, and then nothing comes of it. It's like, literally, that's Academics. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe, did you see Academics? And then it's like the next day, it's like, he's still irrelevant until the next school shoot. It's like, I don't see, Rosenberg has ESPN, WWE, and Hot 97 to worry about. He's doing hours and hours and hours of content that people enjoy, that people could relate to, that people give feedback on, that it literally resonates with people and like changes how they think about things and how they might act in their day-to-day. Academics is sharing news. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, and giving outrageous opinions, not even giving like honest, real opinions that are like well thought out, that trigger like, your brain to work. It's like literally giving empty, it's like thoughts and prayers, it really is.
Yeah, Academics, I'll give him one thing. He's really good at talking shit.
I don't know.
Shit.
He's really good at talking shit, but he's like, I don't know. I just think he's like, he does the same things every day. It's like when I just said Academics is like a school. It's like, or when I said fucking fun, like with Flex about having to suck dick, it's like, yeah, that's outrageous shit that'll get a lot of clicks. But it's like, of everything I've said in this interview, is that what you're gonna sit and think about? It maybe for a second, maybe it'll get them to look at the interview, but it's like, it's gonna be, you're gonna laugh about it, and then 5 seconds later, what I said was completely useless.
Yeah.
So it's like here's a throwback for you.
This thing is know why he interviewed YB and Amir.
Well,
So the first line, the first five.
And then 5 fucking minutes later is. It's just like you're just saying things. You're not like making any points. You're just like fucking like you're literally like there's like I don't know. I hold shit talk to like high regard. Like I really believe there's an art to talking shit. But like literally this man is just like spitting poop out of his mouth. Like it's like literally as if like you're just there's literal shit coming out of your mouth. It's not like you're not even talking. You're just like literally just spitting shit. I don't know. Prove me otherwise. Find me a clip where he has some intelligent conversation that's thought provoking. Please, I'd love to see it.
Maybe Everyday Struggle. Maybe some moments in Everyday Struggle.
I didn't even know he was still doing Everyday Struggle.
Like, the show ended a while ago, but like maybe you could find something in there, but I don't fucking know.
Well, then the show ending is proof that academics isn't that great at talking shit. Because if he had anything to say, he would have that show would still be on, right?
I don't know what happened, but they're just like, all right, our farewell episode. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know. They definitely didn't make the best hire with that one. I mean, shout out to Wayno and Deska. They seem to do really well because they contributed something. Where did that go? Back to YouTube, or does he have something else happening?
As far as I know, YouTube.
Oh yeah, or just Twitch, right? I don't even know of YouTube.
I don't know. Twitch, I don't fucking know.
It's just Instagram. That's it. Like, and again, like I said, I like by all means, bro, if that works for you and that brings you joy, cool. But it doesn't seem like it's making you happy. It just seems like it's getting you empty attention. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? You know, it's just like, I don't understand. Like, you're not adding anything. There's so many, and it's not just him. There's so many people like that. Like, I'm not saying Ack has to be on Complex to be like successful, but it's like, this is a company with a lot of money that believed in you and gave you a platform to pretty much be yourself, and it failed. So it's like, all right, you're going to go back to being yourself on YouTube. It just seems like the only reason you have a following is because you share news stories. And it's like, I could share news stories. Anybody can share news stories. Level Up Hip Hop all day on Long Island is sharing fucking news stories every single day and has a ton of attention and doesn't post her face once. You know, it's just like, you could share news stories and get a following, but it's like, it doesn't make you special. You know, it just makes you somebody that either A, one of these big companies is going to exploit for clicks, or B, is like a short-term moment.
We're going to wrap things up, but really quick, we're going to play 2 quick games. The first game's called Free Concert.
Okay.
All right, so here's the situation. Tonight, there's 2 concerts happening at the same time.
Okay.
But you can only go to one.
Okay.
And you get in for free. All right?
Always. Otherwise, I'm not going to either.
Oh, that's how it is.
Nah, you know what? It would really have to be a special artist, but I'm the kind of guy that I'd much rather watch like the basketball game at home than like go to the stadium.
All right, free concert. All right, Lil Baby, DaBaby.
I don't know. That's a tough one. Lil Baby for the music probably, but I feel like there's also gonna be a lot more mixy shit at the Lil Baby show, where DaBaby is just gonna be DaBaby. It's like I know what to expect. I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to either show, but if I had to pick one, I might go to like the Baby show, because it would more likely be a situation where I could just chill and enjoy what's going on and not like be distracted by a lot of other shit.
All right. G-Eazy, Jack Harlow.
I don't know. Probably right now, I guess Jack Harlow, but I wouldn't like it for the same reasons I wouldn't like the Lil Baby show. There'd be so much mixy bullshit there. I feel like it. I wish I could have gone into like a Jack Harlow show like early on, like when I interviewed Jack, like before he had like jewelry, chains, like at SOBs type shit. Like I would have loved the Jack Harlow show there. Now maybe Jeezy, just to see like what he's got going on, and I feel like I'd probably be able to see him at like an arena and like just chill out. I don't know. I'm going to have fun, you know?
Drake, Lil Wayne.
Oh man, can they go together? Can they like perform?
You got to pick one.
What it depends what they're performing. Is it like Summer 16 tour versus like the
Like right
Carter?
now. This concert's happening tonight. Right
That's
now.
I don't know. Maybe Drake, I guess. My girl would be happier at that one. I'm not,
Island Boys Riff Raff.
Riff Raff all day. Because Riff Raff's talented as shit. People don't give Riff Raff credit he deserves. Riff Raff, with all due respect, should never be mentioned with the Island Boys, even though he looks just like an Island Boy. Because, bro, the work, that's the thing is people don't know, bro. Riff Raff, the fact that he's even a conversation brought up is like how good he has done with his career. This man has records on records, projects on projects, videos on videos, like does shit with World Star, does shit with fucking MTV, with everybody. Riff Raff all day.
I have never heard anyone give Riff Raff his flowers.
Well, it's real shit. You know, the first time I met fucking Lil Tracy, bro, he was hanging out with Riff Raff. It's like Riff Raff is a real deal dude. Like when I saw Riff Raff, bro, he was with like OG Ron C. Like he's really about making good shit, fucking with good people. Like don't sleep on Riff Raff. That's the thing. Go look at Riff Raff streams right now. Like no cap, I'm gonna tell you as of the time of this interview, Riff Raff currently has 569,000 monthly listeners. The last time he dropped a song was March. So he hasn't dropped a song March, April, May, June. In April, May, 3 months, and he still has over 500,000 monthly listeners. And it's like Riff Raff has projects on Spotify going back to fucking like I'm not even gonna hold you. Bro. Riff Raff, this is 2011.
Yo, he's been in the game 10 years?
No cap. And look at all the work. And I'll be so honest, I haven't listened to like any of this shit, but it's like 500,000 people at least are. So big up to Riff Raff.
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? People don't
Fuck.
realize, bro, that's like you could have a career not giving a shit. And I bet he's making more money than a ton of these guys. I bet there's so many artists that are not even touching Riff Raff's money right now.
Oh shit.
You know why? I'll give y'all one more tip. Let me show y'all. You see at the very, very bottom of his latest release, $1 Million Mullet Music. I don't know who owns $1 Million Mullet Music, but I'd argue to say it's this guy with the mullet. You know, like. So it's like I'll show you straight up. Hang on. Who else did you say? Jack Harlow's latest release, right? Generation Now in Atlantic. So Jack Harlow has 48. So I mean, he's killing it. He's got 48 million views. Even like a fraction of that, he's caking up. But think of how many artists are like nowhere near that. And Jack's still giving pieces of his money away to two. It's not all going in his pocket.
Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park.
I don't know. I like Limp Bizkit because you know they did it all for the nookie, whatever. But I love Linkin Park. That's Mike Shinoda, right? Linkin Park. Mm-hmm. I'd have to give it to Linkin Park, and I'd really hope that Mike Shinoda does what was that other thing he had? He had another fucking group, Fort Minor. If he could do Fort Minor records at the Linkin Park show, sign me up. But if
I guess he would have to since Chester's gone, but
he'd have to. If Chester was here, yeah, I mean, either way, I guess Linkin Park. I feel like Limp Bizkit would have such a lit show though, and I wouldn't like be distracted by anything because it wouldn't be like a rap show.
Nicki Minaj or Meg Thee Stallion?
Oh man, I don't want to go anywhere near those shows.
You have to go. You're getting in for free.
I might go to. I don't care if it's free. I still don't want to go. I might maybe Meg just to go hang out with like party, but I would not be happy to be there.
Okay.
I would hang out with Party. That's it. I would just go to see him and fucking chill and maybe smoke somewhere. I'm like, I want nothing to do with any of those shows.
Nirvana or Rage Against the Machine?
Nirvana all day. If
Hell yeah.
Kurt, yeah, gotta
Fuck it.
do it. Shout out to Rage though.
Um, Selena Gomez or Ariana Grande?
I don't know. I probably know more of Ariana's songs, but I feel like Selena would probably be dope to see.
Yeah,
But
they
that
both
would
would be dope.
I'd feel weird going to those shows. I'd be like the oldest guy there.
You
I'd be
never
like,
know.
"Where's your kid?" I'll be like,
There
"Free
might,
tickets."
yeah, there might be a dad taking his 14-year-old daughter.
Oh,
So
there will be. They'd be like, "Where's your kid?" And I'd be like, "I got free tickets from Ella on the Rise."
yeah, that'd
They'd
be
be
dope. I wish I could give out free tickets.
like,
Ain't no radio show yet.
listen, if I have tickets ever, you can give them out for free. I want nothing to do with giving out tickets to anybody. Once you give out free tickets once, forever people want free tickets.
Fuck, man. Fuck that noise.
Yeah, man.
All right, the last one, probably the hardest one. We seeing Kanye or Kendrick?
Kendrick. Even though Kanye puts on a fucking amazing show.
So why Kendrick over
Kendrick too.
Kanye if he puts on an amazing show?
I don't know, unless it was like Kanye doing his own. Hey, sorry, I'm on live with my friend over here. Are we out of here? This is Adam Silver, the GOAT. Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna be done in a few minutes. Thank you, man.
What's good?
Adam
You at work
Silver,
right
the
now?
greatest.
What's going
Yeah,
on right now?
no, I'm at work, man. I came in here to make some calls and then time got away from me and then you hit me. But yeah, it's already 6 o'clock. It's wild.
Yeah. So why Kendrick over Kanye if Kanye has the better show?
Um, I don't know. I've seen Kanye's shows of all the shows I've ever been to. I'd say Kanye is like my favorite concert, like for sure. But I think Kendrick is just like he makes such better music these days, and he's also a great performer. And the times I've seen Kendrick, I've never been disappointed. I saw Kanye when he did that like levitating stage thing, and I was kind of disappointed with the show. But like what he did for 808s and Heartbreak, Twisted Fantasy, like all those shows, by all means, like if it's like Glow in the Dark tour Kanye, obviously Kanye. But if it's like the latest Kanye with the latest Kendrick, I'm going to Kendrick show.
The last game, you got to take down a poster and you got to put up a new artist.
Okay.
So who are we taking down?
Like what artists are we taking down?
Yeah, behind me.
Oh, I don't know. Who are all I have to take down one of those posters. Who's that on the top left?
Right here?
Uh-huh.
That's Chester from Linkin Park.
Okay. Oh, okay. His head's cut off a little bit, Chester. And who's that on the middle right?
Here?
Yeah.
It's Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. Sorry, Avril.
Why Avril?
Because she only had like a couple records. It was like she's a legend and her records are legendary and like Big Up Skater Boy and all that. But like it's time to take that poster down. I feel like I could be a full-blown adult with all the other posters on my wall. The Avril Lavigne needed to go with like the middle school stuff. I don't know. It just like I haven't heard her new music. I'm sure she's great, but these other posters are too major. No, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, honestly, bro, Peep would be a close second.
To take down?
Yeah, respectfully. I'm a fan of Peep. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that we didn't get more from Peep. And I don't think I paid as much attention to him when he was around as maybe a lot of other people did, or I should have. So it's like I caught up after the fact, and I guess it just didn't resonate the same way. I have a hard time like even with Kurt, it's like I get it. Like there's a lot of like things that we didn't get from him also. But with Peep, it was just like so fresh and it didn't get the time it did have the impact on me that a lot of these other artists did. Like even with Avril, it's like I could think of like a Skater Boy time in my life where like you know, like it was like cool, like that's the girls were on it, like that was the Green Day and all that, like fucking Sum 41, like there was a time and a place for it that's nostalgic. I don't really have that with Pete because it was just so short lived and so quick of like a moment, you know. Like if it like even Juice, like with Juice World, like it was like a couple of years, like I got to have a conversation with him. I have like a story about like how I discovered him and like, you know, the first time I heard his music. Like Peep, it was like I heard he passed away. I started going down the rabbit hole of who he was. He made great shit, you know, and it's just like he didn't get to fully live it out. I might say the same thing if like Pop Smoke was there. Like honestly, like Pop Smoke was great, but it's like it didn't exist for long enough to have the impact on me that I think like a Kanye or an Amy Winehouse or Kurt Cobain or Chester or anybody else behind you did.
No,
So
that's some real shit. But one thing I can say is for Peep's career, how short it was, it's pretty amazing how much it was blossoming in such a short amount of time.
yeah, no, same for XXX. Like honestly, that's why I keep him up there. Like I think he still is a legend, and I think there are kids that the same way like Avril maybe was for like us as a kid, or Chester or Kurt. Like, you know, I think that like I see how Pete sticks with people like that. It's just like it was beyond me. You know, like I was older by the time I really heard about him. Honestly, he's from like right by me too. He like apparently grew up in like Long Beach and shit. So like big
Hmm.
up to him, but I'm taking Avril down because she's had a very full life and has given us not such full music. At least Pete gave us a lot of music in his short life. So damn you, Avril, for disappointing us.
So who
um,
who are we putting up in Avril Lavigne's
who
place?
am I putting up? I have to look through my phone. It has to be a musician. It can't be like a Joe Rogan or Dave Chappelle.
We're gonna those are great people, but we're gonna keep it music.
All right, all right. Um, I want to look. I mean, maybe like the practical side of me wants to say Drake because I just feel like of anybody in music that's like been consistent and that like has a career that's admirable, it's for sure him. But I don't know, like the fan in me wants to say like Nas, even though I'm like kind of disappointed with his newer stuff, maybe Kendrick. Um, if I could only put one, I'd probably put Drake. But like Kendrick, Cole would be very close seconds. Nas close third. Eminem, Young Thug, maybe XXX to go with the Peep vibe. But even X, it's like it wasn't long enough. Like I really had such high hopes for X. It's like not long enough. So I guess I'll stick with Drake or Kendrick.
But at least, like, not to sound fucked up, but at least X's passing wasn't drug related. It was actually like,
Yeah,
you know,
bro, and he was so misunderstood, and like it's so crazy because I think it's like I was talking to my girl about this yesterday. I was like, I think what makes me be like even still in the game as far as music is like I love new slang. I'm like I love fucking talking like the kids and like being in tune. Like I love new slang. Like I just love it. And I feel like X was one of those people that was like saying shit that resonates with other people that like understand the slang, but like people that are older and like not as open minded were like, he's just a bad guy. But like he was one of the few artists that was young that like did talk and was like focused on being better and finding himself. Like in the short time he was around, he didn't like live it like how like with all due respect with like how famous Dex has been living it, you know, and I'm glad that he's getting better, but like X was out here doing stuff for the kids and like, you know, he had his court shit, but like he was very vocal about it. Like he was kind of like redeeming himself a little bit. And I think that's the most unfortunate thing because, you know, like with all due respect, like I'm a pretty dark guy with my sense of humor, but like, and it's obviously it's not a joke, but like King Von, it didn't really seem like he was gonna fucking do anything but inspire more bad shit. Like honestly, it was like all about fucking bad shit. Like at least Dirk is like a role model. Like King Von is just savage, and like I loved his music because I love savage music. But like X, it's like he really could have been like the one that inspired, like when Tupac was like, I want to spark the mind that's like, that was X, you know, like X was the kid that was like smart enough and wise enough and like intelligent, like emotionally enough, that I really think he could have left like a very solid impact. I say the same for Juice World too.
And even though they're still not around, I still think, especially for the younger kids, that they really feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When Kurt passed away, when Tupac passed away, that impact carries over to like a
yeah.
Peep and an X. And I know people, you're comparing them to the, it's like, everybody chill the fuck out. Like,
Mm,
like it's a,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
bro, even Pop Smoke, it's like I think Pop Smoke, he wasn't like as emotionally intelligent as X, but personally, I think he made like a more, like he innovated this sound of music. Like he really did like put it on the map, you know, and maybe he got some inspiration from UK or whatever, but it's like I think with what X was doing like on the mental scale, Pop Smoke was doing on the musical side. Like you know, there's a couple of kids that, you know, obviously they're not with us anymore, but they leave such a strong impact. You know, I think Peeps like that for a lot of people, but for me, I think I was actually like able to relate and understand X. And I think if he would have been able to grow up a little bit and got to the point where he was like even 30, you know, he would have been talking a lot more like Kendrick and Cole, making stuff like, you know, that's mainstream versus like just being known for like the music or the like one or the other. Like he was really like an icon, you know, in the making.
yeah, I completely agree. And it sucks that we'll never see the 30-year-old X and the 40-year-old X and the things he would be
Yeah.
thinking. And, you know, he would really say some shit. Like he'd go on rants. It'd really make you think.
He was figuring it out. And like we were like watching him figure it out and figuring it out ourselves. I don't think a lot of people are, you know, like in watching like the Juice World documentary, even with him, like I think he made a really big impact musically because he pushed the sound. But there's so many things that like we didn't really know personally unless we caught up with it, the music. Like X was going live. X was like on my timeline every day. You know, like he was like, and it wasn't just like a clip. It wasn't like on my timeline every day like Bobby Shmurda is, or like X is on my timeline like talking shit, giving away money, like, you know, stirring shit up, like giving real good comment and like always talking from a place of passion, always being himself.
Let them know where they can follow you. You know what I mean? And maybe someone's trying to buy a house.
Y'all could unfollow me at corporate Mike. Nah, I'm just kidding. And you know, no, straight up. Let me tell you before I go, because I told you I wanted to get into talking more about this, but I'm not even like selling houses. I'm selling like commercial real estate. So like it's the difference between it is like a lot of people out there that have some money, they want to buy like a house, and they're like, oh, I'll get a rental property and somebody to rent it, and like they'll pay me month to month. That's not a good game, because when people break shit, you're responsible. When like things go wrong, I'm doing a commercial right now where like the guys I talk to, like they own McDonald's, and like if you're somebody that has money and you could buy like an Arby's or a Dunkin' Donuts or, you know, a Cristal food spot if you're like down in Atlanta, or a fucking In-N-Out burger if you're in Cali, or whatever it may be, you know, in your personal region, you could buy one of these things for like the same money as you could buy a crib. You collect the rent nonstop and you don't have any responsibilities. If there's a hole in the wall at like the small CVS you own in fucking North Dakota, CVS fixes it and you're still getting a check. And if they go out of business, you're still getting a check. So I got into commercial real estate, and I think I'm learning a lot, like just about how people invest. But if you're interested at all in like what I'm doing with real estate, look into commercial real estate, because I think it's just such a safer investment. You don't have to list anything. You don't have to find tenants on Airbnb and give them 20% of your money and hope that you're at the top of their list. And just buy something that could sit there and fucking earn you money. And right when you're about to pay it off, get something else with that money, take out more debt, and don't pay taxes. That's the game. That's how artists are really rich, you know, if they're smart. No cab today. I was looking through the computer. It's like Kevin Love owns a fucking Walgreens somewhere in Ohio. You know, I looked up Ichiro Suzuki. He owns like some fucking like CVS store in like Washington or something. Like, pay attention, bro, because I'm telling you, it's like there's more times than not the people that you think are really successful, it has nothing to do with music. It has nothing at all to do with it. So y'all could ask me questions. You can keep up with me at Corporate Mike. You could try to keep up with me at Corporate Mike.
Yeah, I love it, man. Yo, it's just so true. Just everybody flexing, but it's like you're not getting that money from what you're trying to make people think. Like you're not getting it how you want people to think you're getting it. It's so true, man. Thanks for saying the truth, bro, because people need to hear this shit, man.
You just be smart, bro. Like, it's not that you can't make money in music. It's just like it goes as fast as it comes, and it's like you don't keep like it doesn't ever overpower the work. You know, like you're not like if you work, you make money. If you keep making music, you keep making money. There's never a point where you could just be like, you know what, I'm not really feeling this music right now. Let me fucking go, you know, for a walk or paint, or let me focus on my health. And then you take 3 months off. You don't keep making money, you know, unless you have like residuals set up because you did a deal, or you have like some TV look where you're getting like, you know, residuals from that. You're not going to keep making money. Eventually your video is going to start slowing down with plays. Like, you have to keep pushing to get, you have to keep pushing to get, push, get. It's with real estate, or with, you know, starting a clothing company or whatever. It's like, really, you kind of chill and do things on your term. And, you know, as time goes on, you'll see, like, again, when I do my podcast, it's going to be on my terms, and it's going to be way better content and stuff, something I'm way more proud of, because I'm not thinking like I have to get to commercials. I have to, you know, make sure I mention this because it was in the news, or it's BET season. Let me mention the, like, so if you're making music, like, you know, it's not bad to have a regular job and invest in the studio of your dreams to make the music you want. It's more times than not, you're better off than making the music you don't want to try and fit in a studio that you don't want to be at anyway. So ask yourself, what are you trying to accomplish? And then focus on that. And if it's happiness, I mean, by all means. If it's clout, by all means. But make sure it's, you know, it's rubbing you the right way.
We all want to be rubbed the right way.
Spirit. Right? In your spirit, not like R. Kelly rubs people the wrong way.
Yo, words of wisdom from Corporate Mike.
Appreciate you, bro.
Man. Thank you for making time for this, man.
Anytime. We'll talk soon. My girl's gonna kill me.
We'll keep in touch, man.
All right, later, bro. Thank you so much. Hit me.
Absolutely, man. I'll catch you.
Peace.